Hello everyone, and welcome to my next Elden Ring guide. Today we're going to be talking about things you can do to get stronger and a little overpowered for the early game of Elden Ring. Obviously, if you haven't seen my last video on the Tree Sentinel, you should go watch that and kill him, as he has a ton of free runes to start your adventure off. Anyway, let's get into it. Assuming you have your horse and the map for the area from Gatefront, you can open up said map and you can see this cave/door looking icon. These symbolize mines or tunnels, which are abundant with smithing stones. Smithing stones are used to upgrade your weapons, so they're very essential to getting stronger in the lands between. When you're finished clearing the dungeon, you can head back to the Church of Ela and upgrade your weapons at the anvil, or at the Round Table Hold if you have that unlocked already. Make sure to never forget to upgrade your gear. Next, we're going to grab one of the most important items in the game, the Flask of Wonders Physic. So, starting from the Church of Ela, which is right by the first step where we started the game, we're going to take this road all the way and curve left at this crossroads. We can also grab a grace that is on the way there. This takes us to the third Church of America, where we can get the flask as well as a sacred tear. The flask is a very useful item. Like your other flasks, it restores when you rest, but you only get one drink. You can mix more than one effect in the flask at any side of grace, and these can get very powerful later in the game. You're only given one tier or effect to put in it, but luckily we were close to two more, so let's go grab those two to give you another option. If you follow this road, it'll take you to the map, which is this icon right here. You can grab the map on horseback, but be sure to avoid the bears. If you head left after grabbing the map, you'll see this dome structure here, and you'll discover the minor Erd tree. On the other side of the tree, you will find another shrine looking thing which holds two more tiers for the Flask of Wonders Physic. When you rest at a grace, you can mix and match different effects depending on the builder's situation at hand, which makes the Flask of Wonders Physic a must-have item. Next up is something some of you may be familiar with. If you head to the backside of the church and into the shrub and trees over here, you'll see this teleporter. If you interact with it, it's going to take you way across the map to the Dragon Borough. Don't be too intimidated, we won't be fighting much here. Make sure you go inside and grab the grace so you can always come back here later. Follow the path down past the big gargoyle looking guy. He won't attack you if you just leave him alone. Make sure you grab this golden seed, and before the big bridge, you're going to veer left off the road, running by all the enemies, and follow the path on screen. You'll see these little pod looking things on the ground, but make sure you avoid those as they're going to poison you if you pop them. Run past this boss, which we will deal with shortly, and grab the Grace on the other side. From here, you'll be able to see an updraft of wind where you can Spirit Spring jump. Keep following the path left and don't get too close to the minor Erd tree, just stay on the right side and go around it. And behind the tree will be another spot to Spirit Spring jump. Now head up the path and you'll see a firewall and a fort with a Grace. Grab the Grace, and if you turn to your right, you'll see a massive dragon that is stuck in the ground. That is Grail, and we are going to kill her. Before we do that, we need to make sure we have two things. One is a bleed weapon. Bleed does % health damage to enemies, and Grail has a lot of HP, so we need the bleed to really chunk the dragon down. If you didn't start Samurai, and you need one, you can just head to Death Touch Catacombs here on the map, and you can find yourself an Uchi Katana. Just make sure you have the dexterity required to wield it. And next, we're going to need a gold pickled foul foot to increase the amount of runes we'll be getting from killing the dragon, and you can get one right here, right by the starting area. Once you have those, you're going to approach her and get into this spot right here by her foot, and basically just stand here and wail on the poor dragon since it can't do anything. And you'll be able to see the bleed really chunk the HP of the dragon down, so just keep smacking it, and when it's almost dead and you got one bleed proc left, make sure to pop your foul foot so you get the most runes you possibly can. I started with 766 runes, and I ended up with 97,342 runes afterwards. And I was able to level up almost 20 times. Now after you spend those bad boys, we're going to speedrun our way through Fort Feroth, which is right next to where you kill Grail, and we're going to pick up a valuable talisman. Make sure you have your wolves equipped, as they make this run a lot easier. As you come inside, call your wolves and run past all the bats. The wolves will take most of the aggro so that you can mostly run. Make your way up the ladder, and you're going to want to follow the route on screen. And on a body, you will find Radagons' Sourcefield. You'll probably die when you get it, so just make sure you have no runes on you. Radagons' Sourcefield can be a very powerful talisman for lower level builds, as this legendary item increases your vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity all by 5 points. That's 20 free levels in a single item. There is a downside, however, as if you have it equipped, you take more damage, so be very mindful if you decide to use it. If you don't want to use Radagons' Sourcefield, there's a pretty good talisman in the Death Touch Catacombs that I talked about earlier. Clearing the dungeon rewards you with the Assassin's Crimson Dagger, which restores your HP whenever you get a critical hit, which includes backstabs, parries, and guard breaks. I think this talisman is really good for the beginning phases of the game, and I used it for a while on my first playthrough. Another one you can grab is the Green Turtle Talisman, which I have a video for, so you should go check that out. Now we're going to fetch some extra runes and one of the best Ashes of War in the game. It did receive a nerf as of August 9th, 2022, but it can still be strong if you need a little bit of help with mobility and as long as you don't spam it. First, we're going to head back to Len's Rise, marked here on your map, just north of Fort Faroth where we killed Grail. Remember that boss we saw earlier on our way here? Now it's time to kill him. Make sure it's nighttime so you can get him to spawn. You can aggro the Knight's Cavalry and bait him over to the left side here. He will constantly attack you, but if you bait him right, he will jump himself right off the map and reward you with the Bloodhound Step, as well as about 42,000 runes. You can even die here, as I end up getting hit off the side, but I was still able to claim the rewards when I respawned, as he followed me off the cliffside. Pretty easy cheese, fantastic rewards. Now we're going to upgrade our flasks so we can have even more healing. At a grace, you can go to the flask option and select add charge to flask and use any golden seeds you picked up to increase the amount of total flasks you have. The more you have, the more seeds it'll cost, so make sure you grab them. If you come across any of these golden trees, they always have a golden seed underneath, so make sure you keep your eye out. Now I'm going to show you a couple spots where you can grab some easy seeds. Starting off, make sure you grab the first one here by Stormhole Shack. It's hard to miss, but make sure you get it. I already grabbed it, so that's why it isn't here on my screen. For the next one, we want to go back to the Bestial Sanctum. If you ride down the hill and follow the road, it'll be on your right. Hard to miss, and you could have grabbed it on your way to Grail. Next one is south of the Mistwood, to the east of Limgrave, right here in front of Fort Height. Just watch out for all the soldiers. For the next one, we're going to head south. If you follow this road all the way out of Limgrave, you'll eventually come up on the next map. And right near that is another golden seed. Watch out for the asshole giant shooting arrows at you though. As previously stated, you can use these at any grace to increase the amount of total flasks you have. After using mine, I had 6 Crimson Flasks and 1 Cerulean Flask for a total of 7. There are others you can get right out the gate, but they can be quite the hike to get to, so for the sake of the video, we're only going to grab these easy ones without progressing too far into the game. Now we need to upgrade these flasks to heal us even more. Using that sacred tier you got at the Third Church of America, you can upgrade the flasks to +1. Every level increases the amount healed by each flask, so they are very important. Let's go grab a few. All the sacred tiers are located in churches. You can even pinpoint these churches on the map. They kind of look like this. The first one we grabbed at the Third Church of America, and the second one we will grab up here at the Kalu Baptismal Church, guarded by some rats. The next one is pretty close by to the north at the Church of Pilgrimage, right here. And the last one we're going to grab is right here at the Fourth Church of America. After using all of these, we now have 6 flasks at +4, which is absolutely fantastic start. Now with our newfound power, we're going to grab some powerful weapons to help you really start your adventure. These are pretty dangerous areas, so it's advised to just skip the enemies and just grab the goodies. Now if you head east on this northern road out of Limgrave, you'll eventually arrive in Caelid. If you keep following the road, you'll come across these scary ass T-Rex looking dog things. Run past these guys, and you can jump off on the backside of this carriage, and inside is one of my personal favorite weapons, the Greatsword, which I used for my entire first playthrough pretty much. After you grab it, you can safely ride to a nearby Grace. Another weapon you can grab is called the Meteoric Ore Blade. It is located in Caelid, except we are going to be following the road even further south. The road will take you straight there, and there will be another side of Grace on the way there. You'll come across these ruins on your right, and on the back side there will be stairs leading down to a darker area. If you head down, you can bolt to the back of the room and grab the katana out of the chest. These enemies are relatively weak, so you can fight your way out or die, it's up to you. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is that you can actually skip Stormvale Castle for now, and head to a completely different area filled with even more goodies if you'd still like to adventure about. If you start at Stormhole Shack, you can take this path all the way around the castle into Liurnia of the Lakes, and explore even more before really progressing the game at all. Now that's about all I have got for you in this video. There is plenty you can do in the lands between to really boost your power and steamroll the early game, and these are just a few of them. There's plenty more to explore out there. If you've made it this far, I'd like to invite you to come hang out on my Twitch streams. I play a ton of stuff from Elden Ring, to League of Legends, to Pokemon,
Let's fucking go!
to Apex. So come hang out and let me know if you're from YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one, alright? Peace.